Thunderstone Quest returns with 2 all-new quests in one massive Kickstarter. As a respected member of society, Count Mortis walked too close to the darkness and now lives off the life force he drains from the citizens of the Ebonwood, a pocket dimension shrouded in perpetual twilight. You must recruit a new band of heroes to protect the citizens from the Count's dark minions. You may be tempted to touch the darkness yourself, but be wary. That power comes at a high cost. Once a lowly peasant, Miracel returns to Thunderstone Keep as a powerful wizard, and with her, an army of bitter scions. Having lost the hope of creating their own world, these scions are determined to claim ours. Miracel has also placed many of Thunderstone's greatest heroes under her control, making a mockery of their past deeds. It's up to a ragtag group of outcasts to defeat Miracel and her minions in the epic conclusion of the Miracel story arc, a quest that will put your deck-building skills to the test. Thunderstone Quest is Mike Elliott's award-winning deck-building game of adventure and dungeon diving. If you're new to Thunderstone Quest, start by backing at the Value Pack Champion level, which includes everything listed here. If you're already a fan, pick up the new quests and continue your adventure. Back Thunderstone Quest now.
We were saved.
We were saved with no time, with no sound. Hello, everyone. Is this working?
Yeah, can people hear us now?
I do not know. I hope so.
Let's see. Let's
Let's
give it a
sing a
second.
song. La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar porque le falta, porque no tiene marihuana que fumar. La cucaracha, we have song.
Okay, they can hear us now.
Singing La cucaracha always fixing the song. It's a thing.
It definitely fixes it.
And we have
Hey,
the runs
welcome
up.
to Tiny Towns. Some sound issues, but you know what? We're here and we're ready to begin. We are joined. We have a small group today. Peter's not even here.
Yeah.
It's just Vladimir Oriana on tech.
Hello, everyone.
And one of our developers at AEG, John Goodenough.
Hi, everybody.
And of course, me, Josh Wood, ready to host another game of Tiny Towns. All right, so looks like a basic setup today. We have the well, the market, the temple, the tavern, the warehouse, and the granary. A lot of brick today. I think that was maybe intentional since we've had so many weird brick issues over previous streams. But I think it's going to be super good and super fun. All right. I think we should just get going, right?
Yeah, we should keep going. Well, I'm going to say hi to the guys that have been chatting with us. I'm going to start by saying hi to Richie Yang, Thomas Grief, Omar Hernandez, Benjamin Kocher, Nathan Sutherfield, Alison Parkland, David Bauer, Paul Johnston, Leslie Clixby, Casey Jones, Luke Seegers, Tori Haitland, Thomas Grief, Paul Johnston, Chris Ockleberry, Kevin Renault, and I think I didn't miss anyone, but if I miss you, say hi on the chat and I will say hi back. This is Tiny Toons 104, and remember, we're doing a special giveaway today. We're giving a copy of Scorpius Rider, and if you want to join that giveaway, you just need to like and share the stream. Also, we are now live with Thunderstone Quest, our newest Kickstarter, and we got funded in 45 minutes. Thank you guys, and we just crossed it right now the $100,000 line with 14,045 backers. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. And now we go back to Josh.
Oh, and Kyle has joined us. Welcome, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Hello, Kyle.
I think that Kyle is frozen.
I was going to say he's either frozen or concentrating.
Really. He's working with his setup, so we should give him some time, and we should move forward with explaining how this is working, Josh.
With how Tiny Towns works, I think these people know. I'm going to call a resource. You're going to put in your town. I'm going to call another resource. You're going to put in your town. Then it'll be your choice, and we'll keep doing that until we're all out because I have drawn way too many wood.
Do you think this is gonna be the type of day where you're gonna call triple wood?
Of course, I'm Josh.
I am planning on that. Actually, wood is going to be one of the more valuable commodities. So I'm just going to put it part of my strategy.
Yeah, I think that is a fair way to handle that. Let's just get started. All right, everyone. I think that's best. And we're going to get started today with a wheat.
With a wheat? Okay.
Wheat is not a bad resource today.
Let's see. I think Richard joined us. Hi, Richard.
It's so funny. I don't have my cubes out.
Goody, what's your strategy for the day?
So I have a bit of an interesting setup. I have the Grand Mausoleum of the Rodina. And so I can have my unfed cottages score 3 points. So basically I score cottages even if they're unfed. And that gives me extra flexibility of putting the cottages wherever I want instead of having to align them with the granary. So what I'm going to try to do is maximize wells by the well scores a point for each adjacent cottage. So the monument gives me flexibility of being able to surround wells with cottages, and I'm going to just focus on that. If you think about it too, cottages and wells, I mean, that covers all in total equal distribution, all the resources too. So
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy a warehouse just because I always regret it whenever I don't. But that's going to be my primary strategy, is just focusing on those two money makers.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, you can often regret it if you don't. All right. Hey, there's a brick. That's awesome.
Break. And Josh, what's your plan?
You know what my plan is today? To have a good time.
Awesome.
It's going to be our player choice.
And Gail, do you have a plan, or do you have audio now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Welcome.
Perfect. Hi, how's it going?
Good. Good. We're trying to figure out what everyone's strategy is, and since you're one of the top scoring guys in Tiny Towns, we shall know. I think
I think he's frozen again.
You know, Andy says, is this live? For some reason, I no longer get the AEG live notifications on Facebook. You know, I had that issue yesterday, but I got it today. I don't know what's going on 100%, but yes, it is live.
I still believe that the problem is Facebook. Since Facebook is changing their system, it just get a little crazy.
Yeah. Luke asked, did I enjoy my vacation? I had a great vacation. I just stayed inside. I had a bunch of good food, played some games, you know, and I worked on some of my new games, and I'm very excited.
I think I'm more excited than you for that new game.
I know. Vlad played my new game, and he's just like, he says he recruited 15 people to play this weekend. Mm-hmm. Or this Friday, and I was like, whoa, Vlad, it's a 4-player game. That's going to be a lot of people.
Yep.
Stone was that call, that resource call.
Tori Hageland is saying my strategy is just winning. Hello, Amy.
That is a decent strategy. We have a brick next.
You know, that seems like an obvious strategy of you know, play to win, but I find myself more often than not actually doing the path to fun, like not choosing what is optimal and what is most efficient, but just doing whatever creates the most fun or just interesting scenarios in the game. So
I think you're right. I mean, that's a totally different part. You can either play to have fun or you can either play to win.
Well, it depends too. Like, winning could be fun. Like, winning could be that is how you have fun. But yeah, there's some.
I mean, yes. I mean, games should reward fun with victory, but not all games reward fun with victory. Not all games are designed to do that. I think that's really one of the things that I like about your new game. I think having having 4 is rewarded with victory.
Yeah, so you know what? I've been very inspired by a game. Sorry, I'm going to call resource real quickly. Stone. Oofa. Oh no, it's player's choice. Player's choice. Let me shuffle up the deck, and that way you know that a stone might still be in the deck. Okay. Yeah, it's player's choice. You know, I would early on. Well, I shouldn't say early on, but like I remember when Dungeon Pets came out, and I played that game, and I would occasionally make the wrong move because I really wanted to get the pets that I liked a lot in that game. Like, I just kind of cared about the cute pets. And I feel like that's something I incorporate a lot in my games. So in Cat Lady, I want people to sometimes just want to take a cat because they just kind of like it. They think it's got a cute name or something. And in Santa Monica, I want you to sometimes take like a building that you're like, oh, I just really like the look of that restaurant, or you know, whatever. And and that's going to be true in a lot of my games. I just think it's a lot of fun. Jen Lee asks, did I finish all the ice cream? I didn't finish all my ice cream. I made a key lime pie over my vacation, and that kind of also there was a bunch of other like tasty things that I made that slowed my roll a little bit on finishing all that up. And then I also just got a pack of ice cream Snickers bars, and I just.
What's our next research, Josh?
It's wood.
Ookfa.
First wood of the game.
First wood of the game. What do you think, Goody? Do you think you have developed games that reward fun with victory?
I think having an objective, having a goal is just what keeps everybody, in line. But I think as the more games you play, the less focused you are on, winning or not, and it's more about the journey. Maybe that's just getting, maybe it's just getting older too, because I've noticed like the younger the gamer, the more fixated they are on having to kind of prove themselves and to do well. It doesn't even necessarily have to be to win. They just want to do as well as they can. But yeah, older, more casual gamers they're just along for the ride. Winning is almost like, hey, I won. That's just a bonus.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Stone is our next resource. I will say that oh, sorry. Well, Tori asks, is designing a game for 5+ players harder than 4? Not necessarily. A lot of times when games are being developed or designed, it's kind of obvious whether it can have more players or not based on the speed of turns or, like, I think Tiny Towns, the thing was like, we could make it an 8-player game, but then do you maybe just feel like you don't have enough control over your stuff, right? Like, yeah, I think it's. Paul says, my family and I played our 100th game in September. We chose Wingspan. Tomorrow, Truffle Shuffle, Jaipur, and Sushi Go Party are due to arrive. October might just beat September. Is that 100 unique games or 100 plays? Because I used to do about 250 unique games in a year, and that's difficult to do. Or I do 250 new games and about 300 unique games in a year. I mean, that is difficult to do. So
Nathan Sutterfield is saying, I totally agree, Goody. The more you play for me. The more you play for the experience, not for the win. And David Bauer is saying, yeah, fun is more important than winning. Casey John is saying, I almost never win, but I always look forward to the next play. Paul Johnston is saying, it's 100 plays of different games.
Choice, well played. Player's choice.
So there are some studies about how people have fun, and I just read one by Nicola Saro, and she creates these 4 axes of fun, and it says people have fun by defeating others, and that's called fiero. People have fun by exploring and discovering new things. People have fun by doing the same thing one time after another. The same thing one time over and over, sorry. And then people have fun over socializing. But I did not expect that those axes shift during your life. Like you move between those different type of axes as you grow up.
Yeah, absolutely. Glass is next.
I think one of the things that I've noticed shifts quite a bit is younger. I mean, this isn't just necessarily games, but you can see it, a lot in games, where the younger the player, the more willing and able they are to do something that's repetitive, where if I play a card, it does this. If I play a card, it does this. Well, what if I play a card and it does this and it does something different?
Mm-hmm.
And the older you get, it's kind of like the more impatient you are. Like if you play a card and it does one thing, you're like, been there, done that. It's repetition is a lot harder of a sell. And I think it's just because when you're younger, your brain craves exploration. It wants to discover new things. Even if it's a little repetitive, it's a little more open to that.
Hmm. Well, I can disagree because, for example, I will always remember going to the living room with my grandma as I was growing up and help her um, get these balls of wool so she can just stitch all the time. Her afternoons were stitching and stitching and stitching, and she really enjoyed them. And as I had grew older, I had found out that one of my favorite things to do is sorting cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's true. I think there's a correlation in stress because for me, the more stress I get, actually doing something repetitive is
Mm-hmm.
relaxing because it's like, oh, it's one less thing I have to worry about and think about. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, you're
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
So,
repetition is actually a welcome stress reliever as you get older, I think.
if you haven't got the message yet, Brick is our next resource. Brick.
Let's read some more stuff from the chat. Tori Heitland is saying the play over the win is just the bonus.
Yeah.
That's
Paul says 100 plays of different games. That's a lot. That's crazy.
Mm.
That's a good accomplishment. And Casey says we did 50 unique games in the first 50 days of quarantine. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's great.
Thomas is saying I've been trying to chip away my shelf of shame, trying to play 2 new games every weekend. That's good. Kevin is saying I like to play
Player's
just to
choice.
meet new people. That is a little difficult right now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the best things for me is going to a new store with one of my Magic decks or one of my board games and just sit there and people just hover around you. You sit down, you play, you meet new persons, and that's amazing. No matter where you are in the world. Paul Johnson is saying a third of the 100 were abandoned all artichokes. That's a great game by Emma, and I'm still waiting for my copy. It's stuck in customs. And 18 were Flame Rouge during the Tour de France. It was 16 unique games. Casey Jones is saying I enjoy sleeving cards. That's also good. Nathan Sutterfield is saying all of this discussion just makes me more and more excited for that reckoning. A pirate sandbox for a type of player. You're gonna love that if that's your type of game. And Nathan Sutterfield is saying amen.
Alrighty. After that player's choice, we have a wheat. You know, I haven't called back-to-back resources yet.
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
it's weird.
All right, I have my warehouse and monument built. So now it's just a pure filling in the holes with cottages and wells. We'll see how.
Get that perfect glass going. All right, glass is next. Glass. That glass has to go here. And after glass is player's choice. Stone. Just a lot more stone for my player's choice than I thought I was going to. I wasn't going to go for markets, but now I'm going to try to sneak in a row of markets.
Did you call the player's choice, Josh? The last for the run?
Player's choice. Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna use this time to tell you that we're doing a Kickstarter. That Kickstarter is Thunderstone Quest, but you already know that because you already heard me talking about that at the start of the conversation. This is our landing page for this is our Kickstarter page. Sorry. We just crossed the 100,000. We're very happy with that, and we're almost getting the 15,000 backers. We will have this Kickstarter for 10 days. We are promoting 2 new different quests, quest number 10 and quest number 11. Is that the right number, Woody?
Yes, quest number 10 is Darkness Rising, and it has kind of a neat gothic horror feel. And quest 11 is Miracel's Return. And so you get to see the exciting conclusion of that story arc. So lots of cool stuff.
And we're also doing Miracel's Return. Miracel was one of our previous heroes, and in this quest, she's gonna come back as a villain, and you're gonna see a bunch of other previous allies coming to the game in different roles. As bonus loots, we have our new 323 plastic dividers so you can actually sit down and organize your 3 boxes of Thunderstone Quest, or third giant box. And I think that the best thing that happens with this version of Thunderstone Quest is that you can complete your collection if you are missing something from Thunderstone Quest. Now you have the chance to actually go back and get everything that we did before in our previous Kickstarters. And why are we doing that? Why are we going back? Well, because this version of Thunderstone is also going to be released in French and German for the first time. So we're giving everyone the chance to get everything that they need from the game. And
Wheat is how we start off the next round. Wheat.
okay. And please, if you like the game, back us. And if you think it might be interesting to one of your friends, tell them, share the link. We will really appreciate it.
Next up, we have a brick.
Oh, did we do brick wheat? Wheat brick?
Wheat brick. Wheat brick.
That's exactly what you did last round, Josh. Do you
Oh,
have
yeah?
a plan? Yeah?
No, unfortunately, I don't have a plan. I haven't called double resources, though. So,
Yeah, you're doing great.
speaking of doing great, player's choice.
Oofa.
What am I doing with my player's choice? I think I got to get that up and running. So, I'm going to place a brick. Alrighty. Next up, we have a wheat. That was not exciting.
Well, it was not back-to-back week, so we're still doing great.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to please people. Okay.
Kyle, are you having a strategy formulating yet?
I unfortunately am having such bad internet connection that I am not keeping up. I do not know what is going on.
Okay.
You can always look at the live stream and play along with that.
I can if the live stream would continue to load for me.
Mhm.
The revenge of the interwebs.
Oh god, it's so
Wood.
bad.
Wood is next. Wood. I'm gonna build my granary. The wood actually came out a really clutch time because I don't want a lot of wood, but I needed to build my granary quickly, otherwise it's gonna kind of get in the way.
Are we on to dealer's choice?
We are on to player's choice.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So far, I haven't done my player's choice yet, but I'm gonna show my board real quickly. I'm perfectly laid out my back row. So I got the 2 temples, and then the idea is going to be to put 2 cottages here for them both to score. And then I'm going to hopefully do the row of markets here. That's kind of my big plans right now. And it's going okay right now. I'm mostly happy. Do I want a stone or do I want a glass? I think I'll take a glass. All right, next up we have brick. This is our 104th game of Tiny Towns, right?
Yeah.
This is my 103rd, I mean my 101st game of Tiny Towns with everyone.
Shame.
It's a lot of games. A lot of games. Should have celebrated yesterday, my 100th game.
Well, there is only one person in the world that has played every single AEG live game, and that's David Bauer.
Well, what
Congrats,
about you, Vlad?
No?
What about no?
I have run out of electricity once, and then I had to go out for a medical appointment. So no, David even defeats me.
Oh man.
Wood is next. Ugh, that wood is not good.
So, Josh, do you know, has every Tiny Towns game had a unique setup?
Yes,
Or do you?
except for one. We replayed one setup, but that's it.
Oh
Every other-
yeah. And Tai and Choco. Tai and Choco. No, well, Tai has been here for the 1,104 games of Tiny Towns.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, just the just one time we repeated the setup. It's possible that we've repeated the setup, but we do plan a new setup every single time, and I don't think that we've repeated. It's possible that we have, but we try to make an effort not to. All right, it is a player's choice for everyone. Get myself out of that hole for that wood. I'm going to place a stone. All right, next up we have a glass.
Boom, boom.
Now if I get a stone, I would be pretty happy. Oh, that's a stone. That worked out perfectly. I feel pretty good. I feel a little unstoppable right now. My board is continuing to take shape. Something that a lot of people do when they first learn how to play is they build on the corners and the edges, but then if you can kind of get into the habit of building like each row up, and then like at this point I can start to sweep around and try to close in everything. But I think that this is a really good way to sort of build, just kind of like think about your rows, so you have a lot of space still to build big buildings back here if you need to. All right, builder's choice. I think I'm going to.
Just to make sure I didn't miss one, it was brick and then builder's
We got
choice?
brick, wood, builder's choice.
Brick, okay.
Glass,
I
stone,
think
builder's choice.
Okay. I think I missed a wood in there, so. Well, that makes up my decision.
I'm going to do this stone.
Is that
Alright.
art? Is that art behind you from the new set?
There you go.
The art behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from Tiny Towns Villagers. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Is that one of the bird bath, also Tiny Towns Villagers?
No, the bird bath is in the base game.
Oh.
That's Sky Paths. It's a monument, so maybe that's why you don't recognize it. 100% you haven't played with that one. But yeah, this is the Opera House from it. Luke, are you dropping by just to talk more about Thunderstone?
I am, but I don't want to interrupt your game. You all go play, and then mention the
He
bird.
just made me spend $90. That's what Luke is doing here. $90.
$90.
And you know why?
Because you want ice cubes. It hurts my soul. We launched today our Kickstarter the same day that someone launched a set of silicone ice cube makers that make polyhedral dice ice cubes.
Wait, so the reason why you made Vlad spend money was because you sent him a different Kickstarter?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, it's $90 for these things that make ice dice?
It's for 4 sets of ice trays, 6 glasses with alignments, and the ice bucket, and the coasters.
Well, you went all in. All right.
No. I was close to go all in. I was close.
Yeah, I'll be buying those. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah. I'll at least the ice cubes.
Well. Thank you.
Sorry.
You sound like Jack Burton. Who sounds like Jack Burton?
Okay, Josh,
Yeah.
what's the next resource?
Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's stone.
Stone. Welcome, Luke. By the
Oh,
way.
that's good being. Sorry, I'm late. Been running the Kickstarter. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running a Kickstarter sounds complex enough.
Yeah, it's
So,
always
Josh-
weird on the day that we launch a Kickstarter because there's just like a lot of like random things that just keep popping up for people. It's one of the reasons why we're like kind of light in attendance day. A lot of people have to, be all hands on deck about stuff. And it is a player's choice to end the round.
What did you call before that stone, Josh? It was
a
Rick?
brick.
Okay.
You know what? That's 2 rounds. No repeated resources.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
You'll-
you finally discovered the secret of shuffling. Um,
I'm just stacking the deck. back here.
Luke, we
yes.
already talked a little bit about Thunderstone, but I think that you can tell us all of the small details about the
I have
Kickstarter.
so many details. I don't want to bore everyone. It's just the most amazing game on Kickstarter right now. I mean, if you're not getting this, you're probably only getting ice cubes, and both are good. You should get both. Yeah, so Thunderstone Quest, you've already talked about it. I think we crossed over $100,000 already in 3 hours. So it's off to a raucous start. You want to jump on this deck builder. It is the nice about this game is normally we make a Kickstarter, we have to send out preview copies to everybody to do reviews for. But for this one, we just found the reviews of the game because this is a chance for you to get in at the base level of a game we've done before. So it was really easy to go find a bunch of reviews that were like, oh, it's in my top 10 deck builder list. I love this game, loved it forever. Even finding reviews of solo mode and co-op mode. So it's really nice. So if you want to learn more about the game, watch the videos on the site. If you're on the fence, if you like deck builders, I think you're gonna. Well, I know you're gonna like the game. It's just a really fun game. Dungeon diving, and there's a really cool. If you've already played before, 2 really cool narratives going on in this one. There's this like Ravenlofty, dark horror, gothic horror. I think you would call it, not dark horror. That would be more of a American Horror Story. Anyway, there's like gothic horror story, and then there's Miracell, who's a returning character coming back to finish up her epic story arc. And maybe she'll destroy Thunderstone Keep forever. Could
Awesome.
happen.
Dun, dun,
Could
dun,
happen.
dun.
Could happen.
Good close to the camera.
Yeah. It's great when you have a chair that swivels because you just end up closer by accident. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Spin around.
Yeah. Yes. Where's my little cactus stroke for evilness? But yeah, so the campaign's doing great. And I'll let you get on with your game. So go check out the Kickstarter. Vlad will put a link in or click here.
Already there.
Already there.
Already there. But thank
All
you.
right, Wood,
Thank you, Luke.
Wood is the first call of the 3rd round. My question though is, I still needed Andy to tell us who sounds like Jack Burton. I'm gonna probably watch that movie this weekend. My girlfriend hasn't seen it, and we've been going through a bunch of 80s movies, as I've mentioned on this.
Casey Jones is saying, time to get that playmat. Yeah.
There's an idea, Josh, a game that uses ice as components. So you have to play it before it melts.
I'm actually not gonna lie. John Clare and I had this conversation on a trip to Gamma. I think it was 2 Gammas ago.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, the water game.
Yeah, it would use like water, and then like the board would slowly start to fill up with water, and like you had to try to like move pieces higher and higher. And I think it's an insane proposition because I just to the amount of water you'd have to have like pouring into a table is stressful. How do you make that mechanism work? I don't know, but it's kind of a fun thought experiment for sure. All right, player's choice.
What did you call after the wood, Josh?
It was a glass.
Wood glass, builder's choice. Okay.
I'm gonna do a stone.
Yeah, it was a fun idea. At least,
don't know if it's practical.
Yeah, I know it's not practical, but just the idea of going around completing those objectives while the water was flowing around, and then you can lose your workers. It was fun. Maybe in the future we can explore it when 3D technology makes it easier to do those prototypes.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have like a mousetrappy thing where every turn you're pouring some more water into
Uh-huh.
a funnel
That's
and
the
you're
idea.
redirecting it to like fill someone else's
Ooh,
tray or
no,
fill
that's
your
the...
tray.
Stone is that call. Oh, it's funny. Andy Vitt says, "You do. I feel good and I'm not scared at all. I just feel kind of invincible." Is it getting hot in here? Is it just me? Yeah, I get it now. Yeah. The idea is that it would have like a tray, and then water would slowly pour in, and then the idea is that you try to be getting higher and higher, and then your pieces would float. So there'd be a certain point where like the water would hit your piece, and then it would just start to float around.
You know,
It's also insane.
after we had that conversation, I did some research about the topic, and there were a bunch of games on the 70s that had those type of mechanics. Drops of water, water redirectors and funnels, like what Luke told. And I guess that at some point they just become a novelty thing, but I think there were more than 15 games between Parker Brothers, Milton Bradley, and other publishers making those type of games.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, I remember when I first got into the hobby, one of the games that I heard about was Walden Chat Steel, or the shadows in the forest, right, where you have the candle that's like on fire on the thing, and it causes real shadows on the board, and that's like a mechanic. And I've always been just interested in this like really weird, bizarre ideas like that. That is a wheat. Oh, that is a wheat that I did not want to have come out. I think I'm going to put this here.
So then the question will become, Luke, what's the weirdest game that you had ever played?
Well, I mean, I'm a child of the era we had lawn darts, which, looking back on it, is just the dumbest game idea ever. Let's just give kids pointy darts. Yeah, that is probably, if I think of just dumb ideas for games. Although there is a very famous game designer in this industry, who I will not name, who once was convinced that the best game out there that he could design would have panda bears that actually exploded when you used them, because pandas were popular in China and so were firecrackers. So if you could mix those two things together, money.
Luke, I think you'll have to privately message me who that designer is. I need to know what crazy people to avoid.
I think I know who. Yeah, I think I know who that is actually, but
So
yeah.
He was close, right? If he had chosen kittens instead of pandas, he will have his game and make a bunch of money.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Like
I think I know who you're talking. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about, because that person once said if you make a game that has panda, it would just sell 1 million copies in China alone. So
yes, I'm sure it's the same person.
Yeah. Thomas says, where would you place the wick for the panda?
I think they want him. I think you want him to explode on impact, like those little snapper things.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That is a brick, and that is a bad resource to come out right now. I am going to put that there and hope that does not destroy me. I'm going to hope that doesn't destroy me.
So we used to play darts too, but since we didn't have access to darts, we create our own. So what we do was, there are these weird clips that you put on their hair that have 2 rubber points on the end. You remove those points, then you bend one of the sizes, you push it against some some sidewalk, then it gets sharp. You tie it up with a knot, and then you use a straw to make something to grab it. You use a rubber band, you hold it like this, and boom, you had your darts.
Huh. You know what long game that that I played that I think is actually a really good lawn game is Molky. You guys ever play Molky?
No.
Never heard of it.
You should look it up. It's called MOLKY, I think. It might be 2 L's or 2 K's or something like that. But
Hey, you reminded me of my newest. You reminded me of my newest dumbest game ever. It was called Break Key.
Okay.
You guys remember Break Key?
No.
It was huge at Gen Con one year, and by huge I mean they gave it away for free. It was a plastic key about this long, and you found somebody else with one, and you connected them, and then you turned your keys opposite directions, and whoever's broke lost.
I'm
That's
sorry,
so
Josh.
funny.
I did not get anything of that on
It's not very
Google.
recognized.
I just got a recommendation for a board game named Funky Monkey.
Wood is the next resource. Does anyone in the chat know how to spell Molky? Molky. It's Molkky. Molky. And the way it works is it's kind of like so it's like lawn bowling where there's these pins, and then if you hit down multiple pins, you get the points equal to the number of pins. But then they're also numbered from 1 to 12, and if you knock over just one pin, you get that many points. So they can be like just 12 points from one pin. But the thing that's interesting about it is that you'll knock them and then they'll go flying. And instead of setting them back up in a little bunch, they just stand up where they were. So like the field gets bigger and bigger to the point where you're like, all right, I got to toss that ball all the way over there. So it gets harder to knock down just one pin. And it's like, maybe I'll go for a closer one that's worth less points or something. It's very, very interesting and quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, the weirdest game I remember playing as a kid was it's called Dynamite Shack, and you had these ginormous big plastic thumbs that you put on your thumbs. And so you try to use these huge thumbs to pick up these little tiny pieces of dynamite and put them in the shack without dropping them. If you dropped them, they blew up and you lost. So there was no strategy. I mean, it wasn't even really a game. It was more of an activity, but just the expression of people, trying to pick the dynamite, and it just looked ridiculous. I mean, it was the most ridiculous game ever. And I just remember having a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's like you play it once and you laugh and then the joke is done. And
then you're like, all right.
Yeah.
But you got your money of that experience.
Well, we had it at my aunt's, and whenever we'd go over there, we'd play a game, and it would just, it was one of those games that is like hilarious and fun the first time you play it, and then after that, it's like, and I'm done.
Good.
Yeah.
But
all right. Next up, we have a wheat, and that is something that is not great for me.
I think that we need to speed up a little bit this round, Josh.
I know we do. People are interrupting us about Kickstarters or something.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm just kidding. That's a wood. Ooh, I don't want that wood.
And you know what? Still no duplicates in the whole game, and I think that's going to be a record.
And it is a builder's choice, which comes at a very good time because that's going to allow me to clear some space by building a cottage. Man, I am a little worried about what my board is looking like right now.
I still think that the weirdest game I played as a kid was chasing the chicken.
I don't know chasing the chicken.
Well, someone lets go of a chicken and you have to catch it. And then you play in wherever you are and you fell down, you run, you try to avoid the chicken hit you when it gets mad, and if you catch it, you can go back and say, I got the chicken.
Sounds wonderful.
Probably develop some survival instincts,
yeah.
right? Like...
I mean, especially when you are less than maybe 6 inches larger than the chicken, and then the chickens can get really savage, really.
Yeah, that sounds a little awful.
Sounds safe. That's what it sounds.
Wheat is the next resource.
Well, you know what? The thing is that I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Well, I grew up in the 80s, early 80s, and nobody thought it was unsafe. People used to do that all the time when they were growing up.
That is true. Brick is next. Brick.
And yes, you're right. It's unsafe. I will not put my kid to chase chickens. But
All right, and then we got a player's choice. And that's going to be a glass because that would have been my last space. And I needed a glass there. So good thing that dealer's choice came at that moment and not a different moment at the game.
and then we have the first score of the day. Is 20 points for Leslie Clixby. 28 points. And I will use this time to remind you guys that we have a copy of Scorpius Friday to give out for the giveaway of the day. And if you want to win, you just need to like and share the stream.
Awesome. That's we're through the deck again. Luke, here you have 10 seconds to talk about Thunderstone again.
Special quest on Kickstarter. During all the shuffling, you could be not watching us shuffling or not listening to me, and you could be reading about Thunderstone on Kickstarter because it's amazing.
You can buy them back.
You know, I'm actually going to ask my friend Carlos. He's a weightlifting champion, to come and do a 30-second exercise routine or 1 minute exercise routine just with the Thunderstone boxes. So you know, when you stop playing, you can continue playing and become a better you by playing Thunderstone Quest or something like that.
You have a weightlifting champion friend?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right, it's going to sound. I can't see in the camera what it's a wheat. Oh man, that wheat is going to destroy me.
Yeah. I
mean, man, I guess I have to do that and hope that I do not.
Thomas Grip, 26 points. Casey Jones, 20 points. And then Sherry Drefke says, I may have to watch and play through to understand how this game works because I'm lost. Alright, Sherry. Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing that you can do if you don't know how to play is I will recommend one of the content or different content creators' friends tutorials on how to play Tiny Towns, and you can watch that link. Any recommendations, Josh?
On how to play this game?
Yeah, how to play Tiny Towns.
Yeah, there's a lot of great videos out there from content creators explaining how to play. I'm trying to think if there's one that readily comes available, but if you just go to boardgamegeek.com, I'm sure you can find a great video.
I'm gonna recommend the one with Becca Scott. It's from Geek and Sundry.
Oh yeah, the Becca Scott one is great. That's the one you should do.
There you go, Sherry.
Yeah, oh sure, yeah. We all have our own copies, and we do like a resource column like bingo. That is correct. Yes. That is a wood. And I would be out except for I'm going to build a second granary for no reason other than to not fill up.
So we had wheat, wood, builder's choice, right?
Wheat, wood, and then now we're going to hit builder's choice. And it's kind of interesting because I obviously didn't plan that. I'm going to put that there so I could get some mileage out of it. Okay. And for my player's choice, I'm going to put in a wheat, I guess. All right. Next up, we have a stone. A stone. If this next one's a glass, I will be good. If it's not, I will be a little sad. It's here. There's a wood, so I am a little sad.
So last reminder before we do the giveaway, like and share the stream, get a copy of Scorpius Friday. Thank you.
Okay, that means that I will build a well here, and then it is now player's choice, and I'm going to use that to build another well.
Take a second to remind everybody about this week's promotion at the AlderackStore.com. We have buy Dice City and get all of the expansions for free.
Really?
That is right. AlderackStore.com.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
All you have to do is add the base game to your cart. The rest of them will go in there automatically.
Cart wizardry, Kyle.
I know.
Yeah,
Brick.
let me share a link to that right now. Wow, I didn't know about that one. That's good.
Brick is the next resource, and then that is followed up by glass. That was that glass that I needed a while back, but I didn't get it. And then finally, it is player's choice. And I think that, you know what, most people are out. I'm going to end it there because I'm out. Is anyone still going in the chat here?
No, I was done a while ago.
Okay, great. That means that I made it successfully through the entire day without doubling up resources.
Yep, I'm just gonna put the rest of the resources for anyone on the stream that is still playing. I'm just gonna follow up Josh's pattern. I'm not gonna give you a single double resource because why not? And after that, I'm gonna tell everyone that our winner of the day is Omar Hernandez. Congratulations, Omar. You just won a copy of Scorpius Rider. Please send us a message and we will give you all the details of how you can get your copy.
Alrighty. So Goody, what did you end up getting with your little cottage strategy?
I'm going to see if this will hold up here.
Oh, nice. That looks good.
I wish there was extra bonus points for style and symmetry, but I got 29, which is unusual in a little bit of how there's only 2 different types of buildings that even scored. It was purely the wells and cottages. And I also built it's just uncanny. I built the warehouse, and luckily it didn't. I didn't even use it. Luckily, I didn't get any negative points because of that.
But I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
It's one of those like
a warehouse and didn't use it at all.
And I even said it at the start. I'm like, I'm going to build this. I was like, I'm going to build it because if I don't, then I'm going to be cursed. But I think Josh, you spread out the calls and didn't double up on resources. So
yeah,
that kind of saved me too.
That's always good when you're trying to go for like an even balance distribution.
But yeah, 29. So.
Yeah, 29.
Sherry says, thanks, I love this idea, not to make people. This is our 104th game with this. We play Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at this time. So please join in the future.
And Wednesdays and Fridays we play 2 other games, and we're probably... So this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler. This week we're going to test out how to play Cat Lady online, and maybe next week we will be scheduling a new game of Cat Lady. It could be next week or the week after that, but we will let you know in advance.
Yeah, I'm excited for Cat Lady to be played on the stream. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and that is a game that I will definitely enjoy telling you all about the little weird things that I hit in that game too. All right, Kyle, do you have a score today?
I did not have a score today. I had unstable Zoom connection the entire time.
I got in late, so I'll just go with 28.
Sure.
20.
Hold on. If that's how that works, I'm going with 29.
All right. I won.
It's the Price is Right, Luke.
Yeah.
I won, but I scored 36 points today. Today was a hard day to, but I got the 4 markets and I got 2 temples up and going, but I had a lot of bad calls right there at the end. I should have built my monument a little earlier, which is the cathedral, but I sort of did what I said I was going with the various rows, and then I filled up. And there's the Facebook group, Tiny Towns. We typically try to put our boards up there. I know Pete and I do, and I'll be having this one up there. And I think that's it for today. Is there anything else that we need to say?
well, we already talked a bunch about Thunderstone, but I'm gonna say it again. I think Thunderstone is great, and you should go check it out on Kickstarter. And if you like it, please support us and back it up. Also,
Can I pop in, Vlad, to say,
yeah.
and if you enjoy these streams and you're not into games like Thunderstone Quest, please share it with other people who might like it. That'd be great. Sorry, Vlad.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
And then when is next Tiny Towns? It's gonna be next Thursday. So tomorrow we're playing Santa Monica. On Thursday we're playing Tiny Towns again, and on Friday we're gonna have a special stream with the designer of Calico, and with John Goodenough and Todd Rowland, we're gonna tell you how to play Calico live, and that's gonna be a slight little change of our space-based game. And then we have an open invitation to the AEG team from Richard Gantz, so we can create a version of Point Salad that we can play online. And I hope
that's a hard one because it really depends on like what is out there for people. So
yeah,
but we can try that for sure.
I think we can put your heads together, or we can work alone, and we can try to find a good idea, try it out, and maybe it works. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Tiny Towns 104. Thank you for keep and continuously playing with us. We love you, community. We think that you're great. Thank you for being one more day here. Any final thoughts, Josh?
Everyone out there, just join us again. We'll see you tomorrow for Santa Monica, and stay safe. And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.